Find a comfortable position to breathe freely and allow your eyes to fall closed or partly closed. Tuning into the breath, the flow of the breath coming in, going out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. We settle into the body, settle into the breath, settle into the present moment. We let go of the future. We let go of the past. We let go of any other preoccupations. And we move more deeply into the experience of the present moment, whatever it contains. Resting in awareness, trusting in awareness. An awareness that knows breathing in, breathing out, breaths coming and going. Pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, neutral feelings, coming and going. Perceptions of different types coming and going. Recognizing things and labeling them. Coming and going. And all sorts of mental formations coming and going. Thoughts, beliefs, judgments, opinions. concepts, impulses, intentions, placing the attention on one thing or another, coming and going. Different types of consciousness coming and going. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mind and heart consciousness, different sense impressions of different types arise and pass. And as they arise and pass, our consciousness of them arises and passes. And awareness is aware of it all. And from time to time, our minds may wander. This is very natural. Minds tend to wander. But if our minds wander and we become aware of it, that is a wonderful thing. That's a positive thing. That's a moment of mindfulness. It's a moment of mindfulness that you might not otherwise have had. Most of the time when people's minds wander, they're completely unaware of the fact. So we get to appreciate the experience of witnessing and catching the wandering mind. and gently bringing it back to the breath. We can, in fact, rejoice in the fact that we are aware of the breath, or we're aware of the mind wandering. We're aware that we're aware. These are wonderful things. Joyous things. Opportunities for rejoicing. And so we take a moment to cultivate this joy, to cultivate this rejoicing. To really reflect. On causes for rejoicing. So we can start with considering our good qualities. This is a very, very helpful reflection. So often we are not very aware of our good qualities. We don't give ourselves credit. And that can be very discouraging for us. Can actually slow down our growth in having good qualities. So today we're going to start with reflecting on and rejoicing in the good that we have done, the good that we are doing, the good that we can do. Starting with generosity we can reflect on ways that we've been generous. Maybe we haven't even thought of ourselves as being generous. Perhaps we've shared a meal with someone, listened to their problems, been there for them, helped them out. Maybe we've done something as simple as putting chairs away to help other people. Offered a kind word, offered a smile, pat on the back, a hug. Maybe we've made somebody laugh, brightened their day in some way. Maybe we've gotten them a gift. These are all beautiful things. These are all wonderful examples of generosity, of kindness. They're definitely worth rejoicing in. By doing these kind things, we give ourselves the gift of happy memories, moments that we can look back on with happiness. Maybe we can recall the gratitude of the other person, the smile of the other person, the visible relief of the other person. So many things that we can rejoice in. We can reflect on our upholding the precepts, What a wonderful thing that is. To refrain from taking life, to refrain from harming others, to refrain from harming ourselves, to refrain from taking what was not given to us, to refrain from sexual misconduct, to refrain from false speech, malicious and divisive speech, harsh speech, idle speech. To refrain from taking intoxicants that might cause us to be heedless, and maybe we haven't been perfect in these things. Maybe there's room for improvement and growth. But to the extent that we've done them at all, it's really a wonderful thing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to others, and it's a blessing to ourselves. Others can feel safe from harm, safe from danger around us. They know that we're safe people. We can rejoice in that. They know we're not going to take their things. We know that we're not going to mess up their relationships or take advantage of them. They know that we're truthful, honest people. They know that we're not the type of people who try to split people apart, divide people. Instead, we're peacemakers, we're consensus builders, we're people who bring people together, support harmony, understanding, cooperation. They know that what we say is valuable. It's worth listening to. Know that it's gentle and kind, appealing. It goes right to the heart. Know that it's uplifting. It helps support goodness in the world, generosity, wisdom, meditation, contemplation, reflection. Virtue, the highest good. And they know that if we don't have something useful to say, we will just delight in noble silence. And again, we might not be perfect in all these things, but that we do them at all is a wonderful blessing, something truly worthy of rejoicing in. Every single action of goodness, every single action of refraining from doing something problematic, greedy or exploitive or hostile, heedless or mindless. That's a blessing. And then we know that we're clear-headed, heedful, we're paying attention. And then when we're not intoxicated with alcohol or drugs or other substances like anger, greed, carelessness, and we're really in the best position for upholding all the other precepts. Again, we may not be perfect, but if we're working on it, if we're trying to work on it, to whatever extent, through trial and error, through falling down and picking ourselves up again, This is an enormous blessing to the world. And it's an enormous blessing to ourselves. Because we can reflect back on all the good things that we have done, all the bad things we have not done. This gives us a sense of confidence, a sense of peace, a sense of inspiration and courage, motivation to go on. To go on with developing all the wonderful qualities that are there to be developed in the human heart. And then we can reflect on the wonderful practice of meditation. The clarity, the calm, the joy. The growth. It is said that to practice loving kindness, to meditate on loving kindness, even for the space of time that it takes to pull a cow's udder, is greater in values than being a world ruler. To contemplate impermanence, seeing the changing nature of the body, the mind, everything that arises. Is greater even than that. It's of inconceivable value. So we can rejoice in that as well. To rejoice in rejoicing. This is of incalculable value. Now we move beyond rejoicing in our generosity or virtue or practice. And we move on to others. Throughout the world. Just among human beings. There are billions of acts of kindness occurring on the planet every single day. Acts of generosity, acts of patience, acts of nurturing. Acts of cooperation, appreciation, gratitude. Accomplishments. Opportunities to be happy for others, just as we can learn to be happy for ourselves. Countless acts of self-restraint, countless acts where people uphold the precepts, they are compassionate, harmless, patient, generous, respectful of others' belongings, respectful of others' relationships, respectful of others' bodies. Countless acts of people speaking truthfully, honestly, reliably, speaking in a way that builds closeness, that builds harmony, that builds understanding. Countless acts of gentle, kind speech, speech that goes to the heart. Useful, wise, timely speech. Useful, wise, timely silence. People holding back from using intoxicants or using them excessively. People really endeavoring to be clear-headed, present, heedful, responsive, responsible. So beautiful to contemplate. We let our hearts, our minds, our bodies just be suffused with the brightness of the beauty and goodness in the world. And beyond the human realm, animals acting in a nurturing way, a generous way, a compassionate way. Caring for their offspring, caring for each other. So we let this awareness envelop us. To color and flavor our thoughts and words and deeds. To provide a quality of divinity to each moment. To our standing and walking and sitting and lying down. That we're dwelling in a divine abode, a Brahma Vihara. A dwelling that has no limits, that's abundant, exalted, immeasurable. Encompassing everyone, everywhere, of every kind, known and unknown, visible and invisible, coming into existence, existing, passing out of existence. extending to everyone, including ourselves. Extending infinitely above, infinitely below, infinitely all around. We breathe in joy, letting it suffuse our bodies, our hearts, our minds. We breathe out joy. Breathe in joy. Breathe out joy. Breathe in joy. And breathe out joy. And we bring our awareness back to the room, wherever we are, back to our bodies, re-inhabiting our bodies right here, right now. We can wiggle our toes, our feet, our legs, our bodies, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Move our heads and our necks. Move our faces around. And allow our eyes to come open.